Hey guys, Two Wheel Pursuit here once again. Today I'm going to be going over what exhaust should you get for your motorcycle. Specifically for this example, I'm going to be using my motorcycle, the CBR500R, but what I talk about in this video pretty much applies to any motorcycle. Okay, so starting off, you have to think about, what do you want from this exhaust? What are you looking to achieve? Are you looking for a better sound? Are you looking for more power? Both of those can be achieved by buying a new exhaust. Now, if you're looking to use your bike for track days, or if you really want to get the best sound out of your exhaust, you're going to have to go with a full system. That's going to run you a lot more pricey than a slip-on exhaust will. A full system could even go for twice as much as a slip-on, because when you get a full system, what that means is you're going to be deleting the catalytic converter. Basically, you're going to need entirely new pipes. So you're going to need new headers, a new exhaust tip. Everything is new. That being said, you're also going to lose some weight when you do that, and you're going to have a better sound because the catalytic converter actually does remove quite a bit of the sound. That's not what I did, however. All that I was looking for on my bike when I replaced my exhaust was a better sound, and that is what I achieved with a slip-on exhaust from Yoshimura. So that's your first decision. Look at the two options. Think about what kind of riding you do, really, and what kind of bike do you have. If you have a bit less expensive of a bike, like the CBR500, then I would recommend going with a slip-on. I think if you get a full system for the CBR500, it's kind of overpriced. You're looking at probably about $1,000 for a full system for the CBR500. Okay, so now you have decided if you need a slip-on exhaust or a full system. Another thing to note about the full system: if you get a full system exhaust, you're probably going to need to retune your engine, your ECU, which is going to run you about $300, I'll say, depending on the tuning, or if you get a power commander. Whatever you do, I would be willing to say pretty safely that you're going to be putting out at least $300 on top of the cost of the full system exhaust. So you're looking at putting down some money. So let's say that you've decided if you're going with a full system or a slip-on. I highly recommend slip-on if you're using a Ninja 300 or a CBR 500, something in that range. Now, what kind of slip-on do you go with? What manufacturer of exhaust are you going to use? It's a good question. There's a lot of exhaust manufacturers out there. First, you have to look up for your own bike. I recommend going over to a website like Revzilla. They usually give you a pretty good look at what kind of exhausts are available, or you can just obviously go on Google and look up what exhausts are available for your bike. Now, I'm just going to go over some of the basic brands, okay? First brand is going to be generic. Now, what I mean by generic is, if you go on eBay, you're gonna find a lot of just unnamed, made in China, $50 exhausts. These exhausts are going to add absolutely no performance to your bike, but if you're only looking to get a better sound out of your exhaust, yeah, they're okay. They're usually like a little shorty exhaust, cheap $50 exhaust from eBay. You're running a risk that might not fit your bike. You're running the risk that you probably won't be able to return it because of the fact that it is a cheaper exhaust. And I don't recommend going that way. That's what I was originally thinking of. But I changed my mind. And let me tell you why. The next tier of exhaust that we're going to talk about is mid-grade. Now, this could be something like hot bodies or Kaufman exhaust. These exhausts are going to run you about, say, $200, $300, somewhere around there. And these exhausts, they're okay. But the way I look at these exhausts are, they're kind of like the exhausts that are made in China, except they're made in the USA, okay? Not much thought has been put into designing them. You're not going to get any performance gains from them whatsoever. And it's not going to give you the best experience. I can tell you I purchased a hot bodies exhaust, and I specifically do not like hot bodies at all for this reason. I purchased a hot bodies GP exhaust for my CBR500, and it did not fit. And I went back and forth quite a few times. I actually purchased it off of Revzilla. Revzilla was great. They ended up realizing the problem was on their end, but through that time that I was going through the refund process, I actually had been in contact with Hot Bodies exhaust as well, and they were telling me that the exhaust should fit my bike. There was no way that this exhaust was going to fit my bike. And I find that disturbing when you're working with a company and they don't know what their exhaust fits. I guarantee you this exhaust would not fit my bike. I actually made a video and sent the video over to them saying, hey, look, the exhaust doesn't fit my bike. They're like, no, it should fit your bike, man. You have a 2017 CBR500? Let me take the, yeah, well, looks like it should fit, yeah. That made me really not like Hot Bodies. I can't see myself buying anything from Hot Bodies just because of that bad experience with them. Not that that should necessarily deter you from buying from Hot Bodies. Anyway, so that mid-grade exhaust, somewhere between $200, $300, yeah, you're going to get a better sound, but it's kind of the same thing as the made in China exhaust, except it's made in the US, so charge some more money for it, I guess. The thing that you need to keep in mind now, when you go up to the third level exhaust, which I'm going to talk about, you're going to be getting the best customer service. You're going to be getting a premium exhaust. This exhaust should last you as long as your bike lasts, okay? And you're going to be getting more performance out of it. These exhausts, which are going to be more expensive, like Yoshimura, Akrapovic, and Two Brothers. I think those are the three brands. Maybe M4. I guess I'd include M4 exhaust in there as well. But those are going to be some of the major brands, in my opinion, that really provide premium exhaust. Premium slip-on exhausts I'm talking about. But their full system exhausts are amazing too. You're going to get all kinds of performance gains out of that. But what I'm talking about specifically is their slip-on. So, I decided to go with the Yoshimura R77 exhaust. That's what you're hearing right now. Sounds pretty fucking good, man, if I do say so myself. I am extremely happy with my purchase. I am extremely happy that I went ahead and paid the extra money. The exhaust cost about $500. I'm so glad I went ahead, didn't pay the cheaper exhaust. It's just a waste of money in my opinion at this point. I think if you have a bike, I think even if it's a cheaper bike, the exhaust is the most important part to your bike that you can have, and you really should invest some good money into it. If there's one mod that you should do to your bike, it's buy a good exhaust. Buy a good slip-on exhaust if you're not going to get a full system. Most people don't need a full system. I think buy a good slip-on exhaust. I think that's the first mod you should do to your bike. I think it's the most important, and I think you're going to get the most fun out of it, because it is no fun to be driving around on a bike that sounds shitty. That's my recommendation. I think go with either Akrapovic, Yoshimura, or Two Brothers. Now let me go over the three major brands there, in my opinion. Two Brothers primarily focused on sound, okay? I'm gonna say all the exhausts primarily look the same. It's personal preference. They all look great. My Yoshimura looks great. They all look great. Two Brothers primarily focuses on sound, okay? Why is this guy crossing the double yellow? Two Brothers primarily, their focus is on sound. Although I think you will get a little bit of performance, it'll open up the airflow a little bit more. Their primary focus is on sound. The exhaust looks great. I know that there's some serious hate on Two Brothers exhaust because, I guess, of the people who generally have Two Brothers exhaust. And it just seems to be people with Gixxers rev bomb their bikes in the Walmart parking lot. So, that being said, on to the next exhaust, which is going to be Akrapovic. I'm not sure how you say it. That's one of the problems with that exhaust. I'm not sure how you say it. Akrapovic is probably, you're going to get the best performance gains for a slip-on and the quietest sound. The sound's going to be most similar to your old stock exhaust. That being said, I think Akrapovic is really good. They're really premium brand, racing brand. They're going to give you some performance. That's their focus, no doubt. Akrapovic's, I like them. So I'm a big fan of Akrapovic. Why did I not go with Akrapovic? Personal preference. I like Yoshimura. I like the way it looks. I like the sound. Here's the problem with exhaust is you can never, well, let me go into Yoshimura first. Yoshimura is kind of the perfect combination, in my opinion, of Two Brothers and Akrapovic. You're not getting the best sound, you're not getting the best performance, but you're getting a good amount of both, which is really all you need. Obviously, it's all about personal preference. If you go with any of these exhausts, any of the high-end exhausts, I think you'll be very happy. And I highly recommend going with a more expensive exhaust than a cheaper exhaust. The problem with exhaust and picking an exhaust, you're never going to get a good idea of what they sound like without actually seeing and hearing the exhaust in person. Okay, I've listened to hundreds of exhaust clips on YouTube. None of them really give you a good idea of what the exhaust sounds like. Nothing gives you a realistic sound of what the exhaust actually sounds like. So, if you have the opportunity, I highly recommend listening to the exhaust. But that's kind of my breakdown. It's my general thoughts on what exhausts are the best, which ones I recommend you get. So that's my opinion on exhaust. I say go Yoshimura. You will not be disappointed. But if you're looking for more sound, go with Two Brothers. If you're looking for more performance, go with Akrapovic. It's totally up to you. Okay guys, I hope that this video helped give you a better idea of what kind of exhaust you might want for your bike, give you a better idea of the brands that are out there and what the pros and cons to each of them are. And as always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment below. I will respond to them. Go ahead and like the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more bike reviews, bike content, everything related to motorcycles. And I will see you guys in the next video.